Welcome to Morel's Man Cave, where we keep the party going. Today's topic is a very important conversation. I truly believe that we need to bring back conversations. And today's topic is, what is the perfect age for relationships? Now, some will say, girl, go out there and be independent, be that boss chick, get your college degree, and then later on in life, circle back around for a relationship. And that's advice. I ain't saying it's good. I ain't saying it's bad. For men, go out there, dog, go get it, so forth, so on, do the damn thing. And then at some point, when you're ready, get in a relationship and be extremely happy. The question is that at what age should each gender be prioritizing their relationship goals? Now, what happens, we all go to high school and we got the social norms for being the first person from a male's point of view towards a woman and losing her V card. Like, oh my God, I really want this, so forth, so on, blah, blah, blah. But in that quote unquote trap that men are setting for these women and they have no idea, they end up pregnant and it derails their life. I want us to really go back to high school and think about a couple of things. I've noticed in high school, now that I'm older, a lot of the girls who were, I would say, louder, they knew the game. They might have had some bedroom fun, but they were not getting pregnant. It was usually the quieter girls who had no idea what was going on ended up pregnant. Like a comment for the podcast. Let me know what your thoughts about that. But I think the more vocal girls back in the day in high school, they knew what was going on. They seen so much of whatever that may have been that they knew, hey, I might have some bedroom fun, but I'm not gonna get pregnant. But them real nice girls, might have been church or not church, they were the ones who were getting pregnant. So they got derailed from their purpose on life. Now, those men who took away the V card, I ain't gonna say cool, I'm not gonna say not cool. I'm gonna say indirectly, women, y'all picked them. Some of the fathers of your kids are back from high school and y'all picked some terrible people. Now you're in 30s and 40s, like, damn, what's really going on over here? Morel, if I'd have had this conversation when I was in my teens, I would be more successful right now because no one ever talked to me. And hello, welcome to Morel's Man Cave. In this conversation, I'm going to give you guys some advice as a OG veteran, 48 years old, about what's going on in the dating world back in the 1900s and how it's the same in 2026. My advice, if I talk to 118-year-old girls, I'll give them this advice. And am I right or wrong? Talk about it in the comment section. My advice would be, ladies, work on being the best woman you possibly can be, but don't become independent. Damn, Morel, that make no sense. She needs to be independent to become successful. I disagree. I think we need to reframe the conversation and be like, you need to be self-efficient or self-sufficient until the right guy comes along. Why does independent and self-sufficient sound like two different things? First and foremost, it is. Independence means you don't need the person of the opposite sex. Imagine if all men was like, you know what? I'm independent. That would sound crazy because that means you're single. But women really hold that badge of honor in her hands. Yeah, girl, I'm independent. She on the phone. Yeah, girl, I'm independent too. All that means that you're an adult. All that means is the man you really want, because your independence, your boss chick mentality, you keep away the man of your dreams. And then when you come self-sufficient until the right guy comes along, what that means is you go to college, you graduate from college, you get a job, but you're still waiting on that man to sweep you off your feet and become one as a family. But when you're independent, it's exactly what it is. You're independent. What man wants an independent woman? Overall, there's some suckers out there, and I'll call them suckers for a reason. Yes, there is. However, I don't think women really understand what they get themselves into. So going back to my example, if a woman is 18 years old, what advice would I give her? Be self-sufficient up until maybe 22 to 28 years old. Then take your dating to a whole other level and start looking for a husband. Do not go to college, get a high-paying job, get a great career, and focus all your 20s on your career and your mid-30s on your career. Now you're 35 years old. Okay, I'm ready now. Take me, everybody. I'm ready for a relationship. The man of your dreams might be like, you know what? I want to have 2 or 3 kids. Due to you being 35 years old, and unfortunately, you have a time clock as many eggs that you have in your womb, you might not be the first round draft pick of that man. So my advice to all 18-year-old women is be self-sufficient, self-efficient, do your thing in college, go on trips, do your thing, so forth, so on. Don't be out here in these streets, just be living life. And then between 23 to 28 years old, really focus in on being a wife to somebody. Now, I know it's hard. Let's really break that down even further right fast. But for real, men at the age between 23 to 28-year-old aren't ready for relationships yet. I agree with you. What I'm telling women to do is date older men. If you're 23 years old, date a 33-year-old man. I recommend 10-year dating gaps. I recommend this. Why? Because this man's already established in his career. A 23-year-old talking to a 23-year-old man and woman, they're not going to be where they need to be at, because she's going to be on this great invention called a cell phone, looking at Instagram photos of somebody else. Like, oh my God, this person's doing good. This person's doing good. You still over here driving Uber. You still over here working at McDonald's. Like, baby, I'm 23 years old. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I got this entrepreneur business, so forth, so on. It's like, nah, I want results right now. So I'm telling you, ladies, is to do is preserve your value and date a man who's older than you, not the same age. I get it. That's a high school mindset. I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is, if I give any woman advice, I'll say it again, be self-sufficient, go to school, pick a career, whatever that may have been. But between the age between 23 to 28 years old, if you haven't already, start focusing on getting a husband. Why? Because the older you get, men don't really want older women like that. Since the beginning of time, men have always liked younger women and vice versa. Women have always liked older men. It is what it is. Now, let's flip it right fast. I'm not here to be with the women. I'm not here to do that. But what I am to do is to tell you what I believe in my heart of what it is. Now, let me talk to the men for a second. If I were to line up 100 18-year-old men, I would give them this advice. Don't get married till you're at least 30 years old. Damn, Morel, that seems kind of harsh. 30 years old is a long time for a guy to get married. No, not for a man. It's different. Because between 18 and 30 years old, that's 12 years, he discovered himself, and most importantly, got to work on his career. So when he does get married, he's not juggling, trying to move the food chain and also trying to juggle a woman at the same time. Because right now, that woman indirectly is going to be affecting his career moves. While you at work, what you doing? I need some time with you, baby. I need to work on this project, so forth. So nah, I need some more time with you, so forth, so on. It's like, baby, I got to get my career going. So when you already established in your late 20s to early 30s, that's when it's time to start saying, you know what? I am now ready to have a relationship with a woman. And to me, it's always the best product. How many of you all that's watching this video that's in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s got married in your 20s? Just raise your hand. You ain't gonna put it in the chat. Matter of fact, we'll put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. How many of you all were married in your 20s? Whatever that number is, cool. My question is, in your 30s, how many of you guys are divorced? A lot of hands gonna start going up. If you follow my method, I'm not guaranteeing you nothing. I ain't getting paid for this. I'm not a coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm just Morel, a 48-year-old guy on YouTube with some gray hairs on my head and a full beard talking that talk. And all I'm saying is, I do not recommend men getting married to at least around the 30-year mark. And the reason why is they need to build their career, be successful at it, so when they take care of a family, they can not only pay for the bills, they're going to have good leadership and most importantly, good discipline. Ladies, Not here to bash you guys, but let's state the obvious. Some of y'all baby daddies suck. When did you meet your baby daddy? 16 years old, 18 years old, 21 years old, 23 years old. They wasn't ready yet. I'd have had my first child till I was 27 years old. Take your time. But see, the difference between men and women is men, we have this great invention called sperm until we pretty much pass away for the most part. Ladies, you got a certain amount of number. I got to tell the story right fast. It's a real good story. Of course, I'm in the Marines. I'm 22. I'm a 22-year Marine veteran from 1996 to 2018. I had a woman. I'll never forget her name. I'm gonna say her first name, but last name was White. White female, probably about maybe 5'9", maybe 5'10". She's a little taller. I would say Coke bottle figure. So she's attractive. Cool. She purposely did not have any kids while in the military because she cares so much about her career. Cool. Now she's around 39 years old, 40 years old. Forget her exact age, but she's around that 39, 40-year-old range. She's about to leave the military to go to the regular world. It's just like, oh, snap. I want a kid. She was trying for the IVF, the one you got to shoot the stuff into your system so forth and so on. Her body was rejecting it. She was devastated. And she was actually crying and telling me about it. Hey, Morel, I think I messed up. Like, what's going on, baby girl? What's on your mind? I did my career so much, I didn't think about a family. And what I'm telling you, ladies, is indirectly, you guys have been sold a dream that's almost you can't cash in on. You're told since you were a young kid, be independent, go to college or not go to college is irrelevant which route you took, become successful in that career and make a whole bunch of money. And then on the back end, you're going to have this man waiting on you. Ladies and gentlemen, it don't work like that. Mother Nature don't play games like that. You were told a lie. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Absolutely. I'm speaking as a majority basis. She was 39 years old, 40 years old, tried the IVF, and it didn't work. And now she got to go the rest of her life without kids. And if you don't want any kids, that's fine. But in her scenario, she really wanted some kids. She got duped. She got duped by the propaganda of you can have it all. And for men, this is why I highly recommend around that 30-year-old range so they can take care of the family. So she don't have as many worries about him not being that guy. In my belief, I think women need to look at it like this. If a guy's 30 years old and he hasn't made it yet, that's kind of cool. But if he's 35 years old plus, and if you haven't done it by now, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Ladies, how many 35-year-old people finally figure out and become successful after the age of 35 years old? It happens. I'm not denying it. I'm saying, are you willing to bet on it and go to the casino? If a man has not done from the age of 18 years old to 35, which is 17 years, if you haven't figured it out by then, when's he going to do it now? Why is he going to do it now? So going back to my overall conversation, Morel, when should people start relationships? My answer is for women, if I land 100 of them at 18 years old, I say, hey, baby girls. I say girls with an S. Be self-sufficient and not independent. They're two different things. Independent means you don't need no man. You don't need nobody. You're doing it on your own. Self-sufficient means you're surviving through life until the right person comes along, and then I'm willing to share and to fall underneath his authority, his leadership, whatever word you want to use. For men, for the 118-year-old men, hey, what do you need to do in life? Become the most successful man possible. College or no college, military or no military, trade school or no trade school. Do something. And when you're around that 30 years old mark, start taking relationships way more serious. What are your thoughts? What are concerns? Am I wrong? Am I right? Y'all tell me. Put it in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's keep the party going.